Chapter 6. Aliens in my backpack. If Graka had swept the ray from side to side, I think I would have been dead. But he held the gun steady, which meant the beam hit me in only one place. My right ear. "Ouch!" I cried, slapping my hand to the side of my head. "That hurt!" Which shows, I suppose, how quickly people can shift mindsets. 2 seconds earlier, I'd been expecting to die. Now I was complaining because my ear hurt.
"Consider it a warning," snapped Graka, "and try not to make me hurt you any more than I already have. It is hard to say how much damage you have caused with your flapping food sucker. If our quarry escapes, I may take you back to stand trial in his place."
Ignoring the tiny tyrant, I went to check my wound in the mirror that hangs over my dresser. I stared at my reflection for a moment, then blinked in dismay. Graka had burned a tiny, bloodless hole straight through the lobe. "You pierced my ear! Mum's going to kill me for this."
"Thank her for saving me the trouble."
"What am I going to tell her?" I moaned.
"You could try the truth,"
said Graka, turning his ray gun back to my volcano.
"But I wouldn't suggest it, unless you want to see what happens when you really break the rules."
I groaned and turned back to the mirror. "Rod," said Madame Pong gently, "I'm wondering if you can tell us anything about BKR." She pronounced it BKR, but later they told me that BKR was the most accurate way to write it. "Never heard of it," I said.
"It's not an it, it's a him,"
said the long-necked alien. "Well then, I've never heard of him. Who is he?"
"The vicious bud plucker we've been sent here to capture," said the plant.
"Actually, I think he's going by another name here," said Madame Pong. "Wait a moment, while I check my notes." I expected her to fumble in her robe for a notebook or something. Instead, she pulled a wire from a metal band that circled her wrist. With one end of the wire still connected to her wrist, she stuck the other into her ear. She closed her eyes for a moment, then nodded. "Yes," she said. "According to our spy work, BKR is hiding here under the name of Becker." "Becker!" I cried. "Billy Becker's father is an alien." This was too good to be true, though it certainly explained a lot of things. "How long has he been here?" I asked, wondering if Billy was half alien himself, or if he had been adopted, or what. Her eyes still closed. Madame Pong wrinkled her brow. 12 of your years," she said. 12 years, I yelped. "What took you so long to get here?"
"Don't ask,"
growled Graka. He sliced another chunk off my volcano and passed it to the alien operating the energy conversion machine. "I take it you know this person?" asked the plant. After floating down the volcano to the level of the table, then across to the edge, it raised its blossom to point it up at me. But it had folded its petals to cover the glowing centre, so I still couldn't see what was inside. "I know his kid. At least, I guess it's his kid. Do you think he really had a kid here, or did he just adopt him?" "Hard to say," murmured Madame Pong, pulling the wire from her ear. "He is a wily opponent, and there is no telling what he might do. However, the child may be a good place to begin our investigation, especially while we are consigned to this miniature status. What do you think, Graka?"
Graka looked up at me and said, "Madame Pong and I will be going to school with you tomorrow. You will be responsible for our safety. If anything happens to us, you will be held personally accountable by the Galactic Patrol and will probably have to stand trial. The GP does not take loss of its agents lightly."
"Thanks," I said. "I'm sure I'll sleep better tonight knowing that." The lizard-faced alien snorted, and Graka frowned at him. Ignoring Graka, the long-nosed guy said, "I'm Snout. At least, that is your language version of my nickname. It has to do, as you can see, with my face. My real name is Flingiblik. I am the ship's mental officer." "Is that like being the ship's psychologist?" I asked.
"Don't answer," snapped Graka. "It's classified information."
Flingiblik, Snout. rolled his eyes. But he smiled too, as if he was used to this kind of thing from Gracca and didn't take it too seriously. Before he could say anything else, the four-legged alien waved his hand at me and said, "Greetings upon you, Earthchild. I am Tar Gibbons." "Pleased to meet you," I said. "Should I call you Tar?" "Tar is not a name," said Madame Pong. "It's an honorific, like Mr. or Doctor or Professor." "What does it mean?" I asked. Tar Gibbons waved a hand. "Your language has no exact equivalent. In rough translation, it would be something like, wise and beloved warrior who can kill me with his little finger if he should so desire." "I see," I said nervously. "And I am Philogenus esque Piemondum," burped the plant. "But you can call me Phil." I had a feeling the three new aliens would have been glad to take a break and have a little chat with me, but Gracca wasn't about to let that happen.
"Back to work," he said. "We've got a lot to do here."
"I'm sorry, Rod," said Madame Pong. "Perhaps we can talk tomorrow." I was too wound up and too worried to go to sleep. My head was spinning with questions. What if Billy Becker's father found out we were onto him? Would he come after me? Even more frightening, would he come after my family? When she saw me tossing and turning, Madame Pong flew over to my bedside and began to sing to me. Within moments, I was sound asleep. The twins proved very useful the next morning. Between the oatmeal war and Little Thing 1 flushing Little Thing 2's fluffy bunny down the toilet, my mother was so distracted that I was able to keep her from noticing my newly pierced ear. I didn't think I could keep it hidden forever, but for now I figured I had enough to deal with. When I went back to my room after breakfast, Madame Pong handed me a small gold stud. "Put this in your ear," she said. "Where did you get it?" I asked in astonishment, wondering if they had been out robbing jewellery stores while I slept. "We made it." "Out of some of this white stuff," added Phil, waving a tendril at my volcano. "This doesn't look like papier-mâché," I said, looking at the stud. "It's not," said Madame Pong. "We converted the basic matter into new elements. This is a transmitter." "A transmitter?" "Yes. Put it through the hole in your ear, and we'll be able to talk to you while we're in your backpack." "Do you mind if I wait till we get outside?" I asked. "I don't want Mum to see it." "Delaying the moment of truth is like holding back birth," said Snout, tweaking the end of his nose so that it wobbled up and down. "I can live with that," I said. Gracca had decided to bring Snout along, so I left for school with 3 aliens in my backpack. Tar Gibbons and Phil were going to try to fix the ship while we were gone. "Hi, Rod," said Mickey when I met him at the bus stop. Then his eyes went wide. "Oh, wow! When did you get your ear pierced? I can't believe your mother let you do it." "She didn't," I said. "You're kidding! I can't believe you did it without telling her." "Neither can I replied with perfect honesty. We had to wait outside the school doors until the official opening time. I always hated that because it was one of the times Billy Becker was most apt to pick on me. On the other hand, since the aliens wanted me to get them a close look at the little bully, this might be a good time for it. I looked around. Billy was nowhere in sight. I decided to check on the aliens. Opening my backpack, I peeked inside. The 3 of them were a little dishevelled, but other than that, they looked fine. Bending my head over the backpack, as if I was searching for something, I whispered, "How are you doing?" Before they could answer, I felt a smack at the back of my head. "Official replacement for number 23, called Billy Becker gleefully. Without thinking, I straightened up. Big mistake. Billy's pal Arnie was standing right there too. Looking past me, he spotted the aliens. "Hey, what's this?" he cried. Before I could stop him, he plunged his hand into my backpack and pulled out Gracca.